Among the most infamous Yakuza traditions is the act of ya, or finger shortening. This is not a myth created for movies. It is a very real and very brutal form of apology. When a member makes a serious mistake that shames their boss or the organization, they may be required to perform this ritual to atone for their transgression. It is a way of showing remorse and taking responsibility in the most tangible way possible. The act involves severing the tip of one's own finger, usually the left pinky to start. The self-mutilation is a physical manifestation of their failure and a permanent reminder of the lesson learned. It is a harsh currency used to settle debts that cannot be paid with money. The process is methodical and steeped in ritual. The offender will lay a small, clean cloth on the floor. They place their hand palm down on the cloth and using a sharp blade like a short dagger, they cut off the top joint of their finger. It is a deliberate and painful act, performed without anesthetic. The severed digit is then carefully wrapped in the cloth and presented to their, or clan boss, as a formal offering of apology. The boss can either accept the offering, signifying that the matter is settled, or reject it, which could mean the offense was too great and further punishment, or even expulsion, is necessary. Each subsequent offense may require the severing of another finger joint. The reason for starting with the left pinky is deeply practical and symbolic. In traditional Japanese swordsmanship, the little finger is the most important for maintaining a firm grip on the hilt of a katana. By removing the top of this finger, the member's sword grip is weakened. This symbolically and literally diminishes their strength as a fighter, making them more reliant on the protection and goodwill of their group. It serves as a constant physical reminder of their dependence on the clan. A man with multiple missing finger joints is visibly marked as someone who has made repeated mistakes, wearing his history of failures for all within the organization to see. While still a part of the culture, the practice has become less common in recent decades. The police have cracked down on the Yakuza, and visible signs of membership like missing fingers can attract unwanted attention. Some modern members who have needed to perform the act have resorted to using prosthetic fingertips to blend in with civilian society. In some cases, a large cash payment can be substituted for the physical sacrifice, especially within more financially oriented groups. However, for old-school, traditional clans, the physical act remains the ultimate expression of penance, a brutal tradition that underscores the seriousness of loyalty and honor within their hierarchical world. If you were to walk into a Yakuza headquarters without knowing what it was, you might be surprised by its sheer ordinariness. Many safe houses and offices are deliberately designed to look like legitimate businesses. They are often located in nondescript office buildings, tucked away on a quiet side street. On the outside, there might be a small, discreet brass plaque bearing the name of a front company, a construction firm, a real estate agency, or a consulting group. The goal is to blend in and avoid attracting any unwanted attention from the police or rival gangs. The most dangerous secrets are often hidden behind the most boring doors. Inside, the initial impression is often one of a typical, slightly dated Japanese office. You would likely see rows of metal filing cabinets, grey desks cluttered with papers, ashtrays, and telephones. There might be a fax machine humming in the corner, an appliance that remains surprisingly prevalent in Japanese business culture. The air might be thick with the smell of stale cigarette smoke. Junior members would be busy answering phones, running errands, or meticulously keeping records. This mundane administrative work is the backbone of any Yakuza operation, managing everything from legitimate business ventures to the collection of protection money. The walls of these offices are usually sparse, but what is there is significant. You might find a calendar from a local sake distributor, a framed piece of calligraphy with the clan's motto, or perhaps a map of the local territory, marking out areas of influence. There will almost certainly be a small Shinto altar, known as A, mounted high on a wall. This is where members will offer daily prayers for prosperity and protection. These small religious touches are a vital part of the office environment, grounding the group's daily activities, whether legal or illegal, in a sense of tradition and spiritual oversight. It's a strange mix of the sacred and the profane. The technology in a typical Yakuza office is often a mix of old and new. While fax machines and landlines are common for their perceived security, members are not ignorant of modern tech. However, they are deeply paranoid about surveillance. Laptops and computers might be used. but sensitive information is rarely stored on them permanently. Important records such as ledgers detailing income and payments are almost always kept on paper. These handwritten books are considered more secure, as they cannot be hacked remotely. In the world of the Yakuza, the analog often trumps the digital when it comes to keeping secrets safe from the prying eyes of the law. Deeper within the Yakuza Safehouse lies a space that is far from ordinary. The main meeting room. This is the heart of the organization. A formal chamber where the clan's leadership convenes to make important decisions. This room is treated with a level of reverence, and its design reflects the strict hierarchy of the group. The floor is typically covered with mats, and members must remove their shoes before entering. The seating arrangement is rigidly defined. The Iyats, or boss, sits at the head of the room in the seat of honor, known as the Iya-ai, which is often in front of an alcove called Eya. His highest-ranking lieutenants sit closest to him, with members of lower status positioned further away near the entrance. The is the spiritual and aesthetic focal point of the room. This recessed space is where the clan's most important symbolic items are displayed. There will almost always be a large, beautifully rendered piece of calligraphy hanging on the back wall, often depicting a single character or phrase that represents the clan's core philosophy, such as duty, honor, or loyalty. Below the scroll, there might be a carefully arranged flower display, and an ornate incense burner. These elements are not mere decorations. They are meant to create an atmosphere of solemnity and tradition, reminding everyone present of the group's history and values. This room is where the most significant ceremonies take place. One of the most important is a formal sake sharing ritual that binds members together. During an initiation ceremony for a new recruit, the new member will share a cup of sake. The boss's cup is filled to the brim, symbolizing his status and wealth of experience, while the recruit's cup receives less. They each drink a portion before exchanging cups and drinking from the others. This act creates a symbolic father-son bond, and from that moment on, the recruit owes absolute loyalty to his boss. These ceremonies reinforce the rigid structure of the family and the unbreakable ties that connect its members. The atmosphere in this room is always one of strict formality and respect. Discussions about strategy, territorial disputes, and disciplinary actions are conducted here. When the speaks, everyone else listens in silence. Disrespect is not tolerated. The room's design, with its clear lines of sight to the boss and its traditional Japanese aesthetics, is intentionally crafted to reinforce the power structure. It is a stage upon which the drama of Yakuza politics plays out. A space where loyalty is tested, futures are decided, and the traditions of the underworld are kept alive. The quiet dignity of the room stands in stark contrast to the often violent nature of the business discussed within it. While the public-facing areas of a Yakuza office may seem mundane, the entire structure is often engineered to conceal its more illicit aspects. Japan has some of the strictest gun control laws in the world, making the mere possession of a firearm a serious crime. As a result, the Yakuza have become masters of concealment. Weapons are almost never left out in the open. Instead, they are stored in cleverly designed secret compartments. A common hiding place is a hidden space built into a wall, accessible only by pressing a secret button or moving a specific decorative item. These compartments might be hidden behind a large piece of furniture or a seemingly solid section of paneling. Another popular method for hiding weapons and other contraband involves using the building's architecture itself. False ceilings can be installed with removable panels that blend in perfectly, providing a large, out-of-sight storage area. The floor is also a common choice. A section of the floorboards or a particular tatami mat might be designed to be lifted, revealing a shallow compartment underneath. These spaces, known as kakubasho, hidden places, are meticulously planned. Sometimes they are built with multiple layers of deception. For example, a hidden floor compartment might contain legitimate business items on top, with a false bottom that conceals the real contraband beneath. The types of weapons found would vary. While handguns are the most common, they are often a mix of different models smuggled from overseas, such as Tokarevs from Russia or American-made pistols. Ammunition is stored just as carefully. But it's not just guns. Bladed weapons, such as swords, katana, and daggers, tanto, might also be present, though these are often more for ceremonial or symbolic purposes than for actual combat. Explosives are rare, but not unheard of, especially among the more militant factions. In addition to weapons, these hidden compartments are used to store large amounts of cash, illegal drugs, and sensitive documents that could be used as evidence by the police. The paranoia about police raids dictates every aspect of how these items are stored. The goal is to make any search as difficult and time-consuming as possible. Safe houses are often equipped with surveillance cameras monitoring the street outside, giving members a few precious minutes of warning if a raid is imminent. In that time, their job is to ensure that anything illegal is either secured in its hiding place or destroyed. The emphasis is always on plausible deniability. If the police raid the office and find nothing, it's just a regular business. The secret compartments are the key to this strategy, allowing the Yakuza to maintain a clean public face while keeping their tools of the trade close at hand. Many larger Yakuza headquarters are more than just offices, they are also communal living spaces. It's pretty common for some members, especially the younger, unmarried ones, to live on site. These living quarters might be on a separate floor or tucked away in a section of the building set aside for residential use. The accommodations are usually simple and functional, definitely not luxurious. A junior member might have a small room with a futon, a small television, and just a few personal belongings. This arrangement, serves several practical purposes for the organization. It ensures that there are always members on hand to act as lookouts, answer the phone, or respond to an emergency at a moment's notice. The daily life in these living quarters is highly structured and disciplined. The junior members living there are known as, and they function as full-time attendants for the office and the senior members. Their day starts early with cleaning the entire office, from sweeping the floors to polishing the boss's desk. They are responsible for making tea, running errands, answering phone calls, and serving senior members when they are present. This period of service is considered a form of training, teaching them discipline, respect, and the proper way to conduct themselves within the Yakuza hierarchy. It's a demanding, often thankless job, but it's a necessary step in climbing the organizational ladder. These communal living spaces also help to foster a strong sense of brotherhood and family. The members who live together, eat together, work together, and spend their free time together. This constant interaction really strengthens the bonds between them, reinforcing the idea that the clan is their true family. They share meals cooked in a communal kitchen, watch television in a common room, and look out for one another. This environment isolates them from mainstream society and deepens their commitment to the Yakuza world. Their entire life becomes centered around the group, making it much harder to imagine a life outside of it. Of course, the living quarters also serve a strategic purpose. Having members living on site provides a constant security presence. The office is never truly empty, making it much harder for rivals to attack or for police to conduct a surprise raid without being detected. They are the first line of defense, tasked with sounding the alarm if anything seems out of place. This 24/7 presence turns the office from a simple place of business into a fortified stronghold. It's a self-contained world where the members can work, live, and protect the clan's interests around the clock, fully immersed in the culture of the Yakuza. Beyond the functional aspects of a Yakuza safehouse, the space is rich with objects that hold deep symbolic meaning. These items are not just decorations, they're physical representations of the clan's power, history, and identity. One of the most prominent symbols you'd find is the clan emblem. This is a unique logo, often designed in a geometric or stylized calligraphic fashion that represents the specific Yakuza family. They might be displayed on a plaque at the entrance, on lanterns hanging outside, or even on the sake cups used in ceremonies. It's the clan's brand, a symbol of its territory and authority that is instantly recognizable to both allies and rivals. Inside the main meeting room or the boss's private office, you might find objects related to the group's history. This could include photographs of previous clan leaders, displayed in a respectful manner to honor their legacy. There might also be a ceremonial sword, or chang, mounted on a display rack. While these swords are rarely used in modern combat, they're powerful symbols of the Yakuza's connection to the samurai ethos of loyalty, honor, and martial spirit. The presence of a beautifully crafted sword serves as a reminder of these core values and the martial tradition from which the Yakuza claim to draw their spiritual lineage. Religious items also play a crucial role in the symbolic landscape of a safe house. As mentioned, a Shinto is a standard feature. Daily rituals performed at this small altar connect the clan's worldly activities to the divine. Offerings of rice, water, and sake are made to the gods to ask for protection and prosperity. Similarly, a Buddhist altar, or might also be present, especially for honoring deceased members of the clan. These religious objects provide a sense of spiritual grounding and legitimacy, framing the Yakuza organization not as a mere criminal gang, but as a traditional Japanese association with a connection to higher powers. These symbolic objects work together to create a powerful and cohesive environment. They constantly reinforce the group's identity, hierarchy, and traditions. For a new member, seeing the clans, the portraits of past leaders, and the sacred objects used in ceremonies helps to solidify their place within a long and proud lineage. For senior members, these objects are a reminder of their responsibilities and the legacy they must uphold. In the closed world of the Yakuza, where so much depends on unwritten rules and shared understanding, these physical symbols provide a tangible anchor for the group's entire belief system. They are the silent guardians of the clan's culture. Movies, video games, and anime have created a very specific image of the Yakuza. They're often portrayed as flawlessly stylish men in sharp suits, engaging in highly choreographed sword fights in neon-lit Tokyo alleys, or running vast, high-tech criminal empires from luxurious penthouses. While these portrayals are entertaining, they're mostly fiction. The reality of a Yakuza headquarters is far less glamorous. As we've seen, many offices are deliberately mundane and even shabby, designed to avoid attention, not to impress. The members you'd find inside are more likely to look like ordinary middle-aged businessmen or construction workers than action movie heroes. The depiction of violence is another area where media gets it wrong. In films, Yakuza conflicts are often spectacular displays of martial arts or epic gun battles. In reality, Yakuza violence is typically messy, brutal, and swift. It's more likely to involve a surprise attack with a simple weapon than an honorable duel. Furthermore, outright violence is often a last resort. Modern Yakuza groups are more focused on making money through sophisticated means like stock market manipulation, loan sharking, and racketeering. A bloody gang war is bad for business. It brings intense police scrutiny and disrupts their sources of income. The real power is often wielded quietly through intimidation and economic pressure. The image of the honorable outlaw is perhaps the biggest myth of all. The Yakuza project an image of themselves as modern-day samurai who follow a strict code of chivalry, protecting the weak and upholding traditional values. This is largely a public relations tactic. While loyalty within the group is paramount, their primary motivation is profit. Their activities, from extortion to fraud, prey on the vulnerable. The honor they speak of rarely extends to their victims. The sophisticated rituals and traditions are real, but they exist to enforce internal discipline and loyalty for the purpose of running a criminal enterprise, not to serve some higher moral code. Finally, the idea of the Yakuza as an all-powerful, untouchable force is outdated. For decades, the police were often tolerant of the Yakuza, viewing them as a necessary evil that kept street crime in check. Those days are long gone. New anti-organized crime laws enacted over the last 2 decades have put immense pressure on them. Their membership numbers have plummeted, and their ability to operate openly has been severely restricted. The modern Yakuza is a shadow of its former self, a declining power struggling to survive in a society that no longer has any use for it. The real Yakuza Safehouse is not a palace of a thriving empire. It's the bunker of an organization under siege. To truly understand what defines a Yakuza Safehouse, one must look past the myths and see the space for what it is, a paradox. It's a place that is simultaneously a legitimate-looking office and a criminal command center. It's a space that is both a site of mundane administrative work and a sacred chamber for solemn rituals. This duality is the key to its nature. The boring gray desks and filing cabinets provide a cover for the hidden compartments filled with weapons and cash. The outward appearance of a normal Japanese company masks the rigid, feudal hierarchy that governs the lives of the people inside. The essence of a Yakuza space is the careful balance between the visible and the invisible. What is shown to the public, the business plaque, the ordinary office furniture, is a deliberate performance designed to project normalcy and deflect suspicion. What is hidden, the weapons, the ledgers, the secret meeting rooms, constitutes the true heart of the operation. This constant tension between the overt and the covert is a survival mechanism. In a society that values conformity and order, the Yakuza must master the art of appearing to conform while operating entirely outside the established rules. Their headquarters is the physical embodiment of this double life. Furthermore, a Yakuza Safehouse is defined by its deep commitment to tradition and hierarchy. The layout of the rooms, the placement of symbolic objects, and the strict rules of etiquette all serve to reinforce the power structure of the clan. The where the boss sits, the sack-sharing ceremony, and the reverence for the clans are not just quaint customs. They are the glue that holds the organization together. These traditions create a powerful sense of belonging and obligation, binding members to a shared identity that supersedes their individual lives. The space is engineered to remind every member of their place and their duty. Ultimately, a Yakuza Safehouse is a microcosm of the Yakuza world itself. It's a place where business, family, religion, and crime all intersect. It's a fortress built not just of concrete and steel, but of ritual, secrecy, and unwavering loyalty. It's less about the stylish suits and katanas of the movies, and more about the stale cigarette smoke, the hidden ledgers, and the quiet, ever-present pressure of the organization. The real secrets of the Yakuza are not found in spectacular gunfights, but in the mundane details of these carefully controlled spaces, where the modern criminal enterprise still clings fiercely to the traditions of a bygone era.